follow the advice of your family to pursue this. How many times did you apply?
I first applied approximately 14 years ago in 1994. I believe I made 5 or maybe 6 applications.
Well, thanks for continuing. Last but not least, I just want to say that, like Mr. Johnson, we look around and ask people what they think, and it was unanimous. The people that I spoke to, judges, attorneys, court personnel, about your background. And in addition, you received this letter, and I'm sure all the counsel did from Justice Craven, who was a personal acquaintance of yours, who said she couldn't wait to get you on the bench. Chief Justice Briggs is also anxious to get you there. So I just want to say I'm pleased with your background and for the witness address. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Councilor Agnello?
I have no questions. I was impressed with the people that you brought here today. Clearly have an outstanding career. I think you're going to be a fabulous judge, a great addition to the probate court. I look forward to you on board with you.
Thank you very much.
I have no questions, but I know some people who I respect very much who have contacted me. That's very great. I respect very much. My father was my friend also. We got rid from the sheriff's office in Middlesex County. I still contact him. Liz Collins, who came from business at very high grades, and especially for who was a lawyer and her advocacy for the children. I love seeing people contributing also. And the witnesses were very good, especially that Joe Stewart, I know this great working and stuff like that. So look forward to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilor Bowles?
Just a couple of quick questions. How much federal court, how much time the cases have been done in federal court?
Not at all since the early 90s, maybe 5% of my practice before that.
What kind of cases were those?
I was on the CJA Criminal Justice Act panel, so federal court tends to be larger conspiracy, a lot of controlled substance act cases, a couple of RICO conspiracy cases, a seditious conspiracy case in the late 80s with U.S. District Court Judge Young.
In DSS, why did you leave DSS? Did you was that a burnout position pretty much? Or?
Well, I would say no. I wouldn't say it was burnout because I continued really doing the same work, and I was a contract attorney for the department for about a year plus after I left. A very close friend from law school, Mr. Peter Benz, was starting a private practice. He started talking to me about it. Mr. David Casey, who I had known in law school but not known as well as a year ahead of me, was talking with Peter about it. It seemed like a great opportunity. I was young and foolish and didn't need a steady, I didn't have as much need for a steady income as I do now, and it was an opportunity that I decided to jump at and take the opportunity.
I left DSS right before you came in. I believe I was a child abuse investigator for them for a short period of time.
Okay.
That's right. Sandy Matano, was she in charge of it?
Dr. England was there. I believe Mrs. Todd was just after I left, if memory serves.
We've had a rough week on the central part of the state.
not Massachusetts specific. It was.
You have another attorney with this, right? This is a law enforcement perspective, we can't read you. I'm just concerned, I just want to know what you're feeling with you guys.
Sure. The article is not Massachusetts specific. Massachusetts has rules, the so-called interested adult rule, which requires that with a child under the age of 14, they be accompanied by an adult who is interested in child welfare and who is informed of and understands the Miranda rights before that child can make an effective waiver. With a child over 14, there is a preference, a strong preference in our law for the child to have the assistance of an adult, but it's not required. So I think Massachusetts has done a pretty good job of striking a balance between the need to be able to interview children and to interrogate young people by police officers, and the understanding that children can be more susceptible to pressure and to lack of understanding than are most mature adults. So the article really looked at all the 50 states and looked at a great many states that allow, in some instances, children as young as 10 years old to be interviewed and to make a waiver of their Miranda rights without an adult present, and pretty much apply the adult standards for waiver without any modifications to juvenile cases. So it's really more those other jurisdictions that are not as protective of adolescents or of children as we are in Massachusetts with our interested adult rule that I was looking at, and I was suggesting that those states should really take a step back and look at whether a 10-year-old can be held to an adult-like understanding.
Do you feel that there's a problem right now, or something that is ongoing in the system that has to be dealt with? My experience is that I've never really been in a situation, maybe where we've allowed a child at that age to waive their Miranda rights. Did that happen in your experience that often?
Never with a child under 14. And I think the law enforcement agencies are very careful, rightly so cautious, with a young person, and most often do secure, particularly in that gray 14 to 16-year-old area, they're pretty good at securing the presence of an adult with the child to make sure that the child has somebody who is able to counsel them. So I don't see it as a huge ongoing problem by any means of the council.
Would you like to introduce your new guest?
I showed up as a surprise, Mr. Foley. Delighted to be here.
The Honorable Terry Craven from the Suffolk County Juvenile Court, who was a longtime friend and colleague before she was on the bench and now one of the judges I heard from previously.
Well, being the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Westville and a graduate like Judge Craven,
Thank you, Mr. Foley.
Thank you.
Welcome, Judge Frankie.
Thank you, John. Pleasure to see you again.
Would you like to say a few words?
You actually, I think, all should have gotten a letter, I hope, from me
Okay.
that I sent up
You did.
supporting
Thank you for that.
the nominee's position, and hopefully you've all had a chance to read them. I just came in case there's any questions to show my support for this outstanding candidate.
I was going to